Good day, fellow babies. Glad to have you back on the Pach-Attack. This week's question comes from Earthbound is Awesome. Dear Pac-Man, do you see a free-to-play bubble forming? With so many companies attempting the free-to-play model, do you think it will spread the gamer's dollar too thin and hurt all free-to-play games? No bubble forming. I have a problem with free-to-play. I think that the biggest problem with free-to-play is that it's free. I think a lot of people, I've said this a bunch, and I think a lot of people just don't quite get what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we should get rid of virtual item sales. I think that's fine. What I'm saying is that it doesn't make sense to let people play games without forcing them to at least watch an advertisement. Other than publicly supported television, radio, museums, there is no such thing as free access to entertainment. You do not get entertainment for free. Somebody has to pay for it. And again, the public supports it, the government supports it solely to provide access to things like art and radio and television to people who can't otherwise afford to get access. But you have commercials supporting all forms of entertainment. So any type of, even free newspapers have ads. Free radio, commercially supported radio has ads. Commercially supported television has ads. I don't understand why the free-to-play model doesn't embrace advertising. I think that if you have, say, Zynga with 340 million users, if you delivered one ad a day to all 340 million users, I think Zynga would make a hell of a lot more money. Now, the people who criticize my comment say, but wait a minute, you need 100 free users so that one or two will pay, and that's where the companies make all their money. And if you run ads, then you won't get 100 free users. Well, I think the simple solution is you say to anybody, if you spend any money on this game in a quarter, in 3 months, we will give you no ads. Right now, Zynga's saying on Words with Friends, for example, pay $3 and we'll stop playing ads forever. I don't get that model either. $3 for the next 30 years, no ads? I mean, why not say if you spend at least $1 in any quarter, we will stop sending you ads. The whales, the guys who spend $100 at a time, they're fine. And actually, I would say if you spend $100 lifetime, you never get an ad. So you can get the whales in there, no problem. They're never going to be alienated by it. The people who check the game out aren't going to have to spend money. They just have to sit through an ad when the game loads. I don't know how many people criticize me for this, but those people watch things on the internet like YouTube. I don't know if you ever noticed, there's ads, and it doesn't stop however many hundreds of millions of people watching YouTube daily. I think we need ads and free to play. So to answer your question about the bubble, no, I think that once you start getting ad support on free to play, I think it's going to be even more lucrative. It's going to encourage even more people to do free to play offerings. So I don't think that there's a bubble forming. As far as spreading the gamer's dollar too thin and hurting all free to play games, I think it's very much like the app model on on the iOS and Android phones. There's 30,000 apps, 50,000 apps, 100,000 apps to choose from, and only a handful emerge and actually make money. So obviously everybody wants to be the next Angry Birds, and there's lots and lots of games being created for the mobile platform. It's always going to be spread thinner and thinner and thinner, and you're still going to get people chasing it because the cost of creating most games is pretty low for the mobile platform. On the PC, the cost is still relatively high, and the guys that actually end up getting into it and staying in it are guys like Kabam, who are making a couple of Hobbit games, for example. They can afford it because they already have a big audience. They already generate $150 million in revenue, so they can afford to reinvest a couple $1 million and try a new free-to-play game. I think actually, as processors get faster, as content gets richer and richer, the cost is going to be the barrier to entry, and I don't think you're going to have a bubble at all. I think you're going to continue to see well-capitalized companies chase the free-to-play market. Again, they'd make more money if they delivered ads. So far, I'm the only guy in the world who thinks they should do that. This week's next question comes from Twitter from Harlequin Wins. With Oculus Rift bringing better virtual reality technology to the table, do you think the future of gaming is in virtual reality? I do not. I think VR is a novelty. I mean, it's fun, but it's novel. It requires you to really focus on the screen and oftentimes do something. I don't think most people want to be looking at something that's not there. In my experience, actually all games are virtual reality. It's just the reality is happening in the processor and displaying on the television. I think that the reason the gaming industry is so big as currently configured is people actually like the experience the way it is. I think you'll see advances in technology when we get changes in display technology. I don't think that's coming in a mass way for another 10 years. So nope, I don't think it makes much difference. All right, fellow babies, that's it for this week's edition of Pach-Attack. If you have questions, please direct them to the link below. And if you'd like to ask me a question on Twitter, please send them to @MichaelPachter on Twitter and copy @RohanLikesPants because Rohan likes pants.
See this and other GT shows and game reviews on the GT Originals iOS app, available now on the App Store.